Hello everybody, my name is Gerald. I am a certified TEFL teacher. Welcome to my channel. My subject today is relative pronouns and defining clauses. There are three types of relative clauses: defining, non-defining and connective. In this presentation, I will discuss defining relative clauses and the relative pronouns used with these clauses. A defining clause describes the preceding noun in such a way as to differentiate it from other nouns of the same type. Let us look at this sentence. The driver who caused the crash left the scene of the accident. The relative clause is who caused the accident. If the relative clause is omitted, it is not clear which driver we are talking about. Was it the one who caused the crash, or another perhaps going to a house to call for an ambulance? We don't know. We need the relative clause to define the noun. A defining relative clause generally follows a the plus noun construction, but they may also follow these constructions as well: a or an plus a noun, plural nouns without an article, and the pronouns all, none, those, somebody. However, if these other constructions are used, the noun or pronoun may be the object of a verb or preposition, and therefore only defined indirectly as shown in the next slide. She met somebody who said they knew the culprit, so the relative clause is relating to the direct object. The movie is about a Russian scientist who defects to the West, so again this relative clause is relating to the object. Let us now look at the relative pronouns used in defining clauses. If we have persons, for the subject we use who and that, for an object we use who, whom or that, and for the possessive we can use whose or of which. And if we're talking about things, for subject and object we can both use which and that, and for the possessive again we use whose and of which. Let us now look at the use of relative pronouns for persons. For the subject form, who is usually used, but that can also be used. The man who broke into your house has been caught. The boy who delivers the papers is our neighbour's son. That may be used after all, everybody, everyone, those, nobody, and no one. Nobody that attended enjoyed the food. Now I will discuss the object forms whom, who, and that. Whom is very formal, and who or that are usually used, although the pronoun is frequently omitted. Let us look at the examples on the next slide. The lady whom I saw told me she would let me know tomorrow. The above sentence could be rewritten in any of the following ways: the lady who I saw, the lady that I saw, or the lady I saw with the pronoun omitted completely. In formal English, a preposition is placed before whom or that. The lady to whom I spoke, the man from whom I bought the horse. However, in spoken English, it is more common to place the preposition at the end. The lady who I spoke to, the man I bought the house from. Here again, the pronoun is totally omitted. The possessive form can only be said this way: people's whose dogs foul the street will be fined. We will now look at how we use relative pronouns with things as opposed to persons in defining clauses. For the subject, we use either which or that, which being the more formal. The book which they tried to ban has been published. The car that he drives was very expensive. As an object, the which or that may be used, or the pronoun may be omitted entirely. The bicycle which or that I was riding had a broken pedal. However, which is rarely used after all, everything, none, little, much, or superlatives or compounds of no. All of the dogs that are here need homes, so that's an example with all. This is the best local restaurant I know, or the best local restaurant that I know. Here we have a superlative, and we can choose whether we want to include the relative pronoun or not. As the object to a preposition, in formal English, a preposition plus which would be used. But it is more usual to place a preposition at the end of the clause and use which or that, or omit the preposition altogether. The bus on which I was travelling broke down. The bus which or that I was travelling on broke down. The bus I was travelling on broke down. So let's look at these carefully. In the second example, we can use which or that, and we have put the preposition at the end of the clause. The clause is which I was travelling on. And in the final example, we've omitted the relative pronoun altogether, and again the preposition has been placed at the end of the clause. With the possessive, whose plus a clause is possible, but with is more common. This is the house whose roof was ripped off in the storm. So we have here a clause whose roof was ripped off in the storm. This is the house with the roof that was ripped off in the storm. So again, we can use either whose plus a clause, or we can use with being the more commonly used. I will discuss non-defining clauses in my next video. That completes this presentation. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again. See you again soon. Goodbye.